BrandSmith, bringing you a plethora of training log video commentary from just my computer. Week 3, week 4, week 5, I've been dealing with a lot of knee issues and whatever. Didn't really even bother shooting any training footage because, quite honestly, my training kind of went to crap. I mean, I've still been training around, but it's been nothing of true value in terms of powerlifting based stuff, so I figured it wasn't really worth showing. Most people don't really care, I guess, at least in terms of like I'm not only squatting like 2 plates or something like that. So I thought I would just discuss my knee issues and what's kind of going on. So week 3 kicked off on a Saturday. This was technically the 2nd of September, so I apologize. This is literally about 3 weeks ago, so I'm really far behind, and I apologize. But I was basically squatting, and my knee pain just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I got to like 355 for 6, and I just said, screw it, shut it down. I'm not even going to do anything else. I'm just going to push the prowler, see some blood flow in my legs. Call the physical therapist on Monday and get an appointment in and see what we can make happen. Basically, I got an appointment in on that Wednesday and got everything looked at. And long story short, I pretty much got a little bit of pes anstring bursitis in my right knee on the medial side. Separators where bursa sac gets inflamed and really annoyed. This one specifically for my hamstring and my adductors. So maybe a little bit of quad. But so that's kind of like what's going on. However, we believe that that's happening because of issues at my left hip and my low back, which again stemmed from December. So I'm still dealing with the same freaking problems, which sucks. My back feels much better, but I'm actually going to be taking this a head-on approach now. I'm not going to mess around. I would all the chiropractic stuff, but it's time I start putting some actual physical therapy, and unfortunately dumping money into this hip to try to get it where it needs to be. It's going to be well over a year from my Worlds meet until whenever my next full power raw meet's going to be. And I unfortunately, as much as it hurts me to say that, I don't know when that's going to be. I suspect that 2017 is going to be a wash. There's not going to be any full power meets in this year, unless if my body for some reason just starts turning over like crazy and reacting from what I'm doing really well. But even then, I don't feel like I would feel comfortable pushing it. So we're dumping a bunch of money on this left hip. As we pretty much know after talking to the physical therapist, my left internal rotation of that hip is absolutely garbage. My TFL and IT band are super, super tight, like bad tight. They believe that's causing a lot of problems. Same with the glute med. That hamstring's also a little tight. And again, that's causing me to have some compensations. And therefore, my right adductor is kind of yanking on my knee a little bit more than normal. And that semitendinosus of the hamstring, again, yanking on my knee a little bit more. And that's causing me some knee pain, some bursitis. So the ideal thing to do is fix the hip, and the knee will fix itself. However, in the meantime, we're kind of taking a multiple approach to this stuff. So I'm still getting my chiropractic care once a month. That's been going great. Jeff's been doing a phenomenal job. He does some chiropractic work and some ART stuff, really focusing on the left hip, making sure I stay good and square and all that kind of stuff. So that's going well. That's been going really well for a long time. So I think that has definitely helped get me to where I am, to where I can even just train in general and feel good. I mean, my daily activities, my back doesn't bother me at all anymore, and that's fantastic. I think that's priority number one, is to be able to do my regular job and activities with my friends and family and other kids and whatnot. I think it's kind of important. Training becomes priority number 2, which is what we're trying to work on now. And so now that I'm going to physical therapy at ISU, we're doing some grafted and soft tissue work on the TFL, the glute med, and a little bit of my lumbar low back area on that side. It's not really reacting as well. It looks like a lot of the low back issues again are stemming from the hip, not the actual rectors. And that my left glute is not doing a very good job. So, especially in terms of activation. So we're trying to work on that, some activation stuff. It's on my own. Actually mainly going in there to get treatment I'm doing a lot of other stuff on my own that they're prescribing on top of my own other stuff. I'm doing my own Gasha tool work on my hamstrings, on my adductors, mainly right adductor, and on both my hip flexors, and on my left TFL IT band, additionally to the grass. And so I'm doing a lot of soft tissue work and the crossball stuff on that glute as well, that glute med as well. Keep everything free. It's got me moving well. My hips and my back feel better than ever. However, the knee is still, the knee is feeling better, but I have yet to test it. So the goal is to try to squat this Saturday, and it's only going to be sub-max. We're not going to go anything crazy. I'm just going to get under a bar. I'm just going to listen to what my body tells me. If my knee starts to feel like shit, I'm just going to stop, do whatever I can. That's why it's going to be some glute ham raises, reverse hypers, maybe some lunges, whatever, and then kind of call it a day. But the goal with Tuesday is to try to deadlift a little bit. We're going to try conventional first and just see what happens, because the adductor is still really aggravated and tight. I'll still be able to fill it during conventional because of the hip extension aspect of the adductors. So if that feels okay, if I can get up to 3 plates, then I may bump the plates back down, try some sumo, see what I can get up to. Because that seems to be my issue. It seems to be sumo, not squatting, not lunging, no leg press, low leg extension, no leg curls, glute ham raise, whatever. All that's fine. There's something about the adductor being in that stretched position in sumo that's causing problems. So I'm going to play around some stance. It's just going to be an experimental day. The goal is to not mess anything up and have any pain to backset me, because I'm able to actually be able to do whatever I want with my knee now. In terms of what I'm doing in terms of exercise stuff, really it's nothing that great. We're just doing some distraction of the left hip after some soft tissue work, and then as it's distracting, working on internal external rotation, holding the internal rotation for about 2 to 3 seconds, give or take. That's to really try to help open that capsule up. Then we're doing some distraction of internal rotation. So pretty much I'm kind of sitting to where my left leg is in internal rotation, my right leg is in external rotation. The band is up at my hip and it's distracting, pulling my femur into my hip, trying to create that internal rotation artificially, and then let me sit into it and get some good deep belly breaths, some oblique activation. And that actually feels really good whenever I do that. I actually feel like I move better. Then we actually take that band, we throw it on the left leg. I do some squats to where it's forcing my left leg to do some adduction to get that adductor kicked in, because that seems to be an issue. That will in turn get my TFL and my glute med to kind of chill out a little bit. They're still going to be activated to an extent to squat, but I'm over externally rotating on that left leg. So if that can make sense that I have too much external rotation on my left leg and not enough external rotation on my right leg, and if I can create that to where it will bring everything back to neutral, then it'll be pain-free in the back, be pain-free in the knee, etc. So it's a lot of complicated crap. It really is. It's a pain in the butt. I'm using a ton of self-recovery tools to minimize the amount of money that I'm dumping into this hip in terms of recovery. I went to the PT 3 weeks in a row. Now we're going to start doing every other week on top of the chiropractic every month and my own self-treatment in between that. And we're just going to kind of see what kind of progress I can make without the PT all the time. If anybody knows anything about our crummy healthcare system, you're usually limited to how often you can go someplace without a doctor's script. Well, a doctor's not going to write a script for my hip because there's not... unfortunately, if they put me in any clearance tests, I'm going to pass them all. I don't have any issues even with my knee, with flexion, extension, external rotation, all that stuff's fine. It's only whenever I get into a specific movement pattern am I having problems, because again, I'm compensating, and a regular doctor, quite honestly, probably isn't going to understand that anyways. So to get a script written for that is going to be a pain in the butt. Then I got to pay the doctor just so he can see me, so he can write the script. So it's really a big cluster mess, as well, to say politely. So I'm just basically only given so many sessions, if anyone knows how that works. So I'm trying to get the most out of the sessions I can. I think my chiropractor said that he will write some scripts for me if I need them. But again, I'm trying to not have to do all these ridiculous hoops or whatever. I'm trying to do this smart, but get the treatment I need at the same time. So, what I've been doing in the training-wise in the meantime, more bodybuilding-based stuff. After the knee issues that I felt on that Saturday, on September 2nd, we pretty much, I decided just to avoid all leg work up until, I can even look back and see the last time I did legs. So I went from the 2nd all the way to it looks like all the way until the 14th. So I pretty much went 2 whole weeks without doing any leg work at all, absolutely none. Then when I did, I stayed at the recreation center, did some hypertrophy bodybuilding based stuff, and kind of left it at that. I'm trying to be smart again about my movement. Had no pain during that session, so I just kept doing some upper body stuff, and pretty much just decided that I would do another leg session in the garage, but I would just do some glute hams, some split squats, try to increase the degrees of freedom at the time. Less machine-based work and see how it feels. And again, pain-free, no pain. So that's a good sign. So that basically rounds out week 5 of my off season. Again, my goal is to squat on Saturday. So if that goes the case, then I'll actually have regular training footage per usual, and I'll again discuss how things are going on my own, treatment on my own. Now that I'm not going to see the PT this coming week, it'll be next week that I see them. So leave some comments if you have questions or anything. I know I threw a lot out here. I just figured this would be easier rather than trying to just do like 3 different videos trying to piece everything together, because I'm way behind anyways with this stuff. So I was just trying to be economical in terms of message I was delivering, but at the same time give a status update. So that's all I've got. Thanks for checking in, and you can keep up with my training logs over at elitefts.com, and you can also follow anything on my website as well.